Okay, so I think I upped it. I upped the volume by like 0.04 decibels. So I mean, it'll be slightly louder, probably not detectably or detectable at all, but I don't know. It's really hard, like between the 10 and 11 range, to find out like a volume setting that I like. Because if I go 1002, I believe it is, um, and then that's when spell effects start to basically overpower my voice, especially now. Maybe that just means I need to get a better microphone. I don't think there's anything wrong with my audio interface, but oh well, we'll just go with this for now. This seems like a good concession, let's say. So that's what we'll do. Now, what were we doing here exactly? We were investigating something here, right? Iron, if I remember right. Um, Evidence against Graven Ash. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Let's speak with the Forge Bound and then see if they have anything to say about Graven Ash or whatever.
Sorry, I can't.
Which I believe they were over here. Is there any way I can make this map large? Oh, hello. I mean, this takes up like almost a fourth of the screen now, but it works, I guess. So let's see, right here. Because Beatus is in front of the Forge Bound Smithery. Nothing new and nothing new. Okay, great. Well, what is this? Why do you have lightning coming out of something? Oh well, I don't know. You know, magic, whatever. So, I guess there's nothing really stopping us from going to Iron Hearth. Maybe we could speak with Aldian. Maybe that is a thing we could do. Getting information from the Scarlet Chorus is going to be very interesting. And that's kind of why I wanted to go with the Scarlet Chorus first, because like what we're probably going to do with the disfavored is going to be, it's going to put us even more against the Scarlet Chorus, most likely. I'd be shocked if it doesn't anyways. So Aldian is right here. Oh, let's speak with Vintara, maybe. Hello. Nope, apparently there's nothing good here. Hello, Aldian. Once again, nothing here. Can we just go to the map right now and just travel from there? I doubt it. I guess I could turn the music volume up too, now that I think about it. Inside the game. Because it is kind of quiet for me, even. So, let's see. Sound. Yeah, maybe this is a better... But I mean, this is too loud, so maybe 65. That probably does it. I almost want to go back to... Oh, what's this? Whoa. I definitely want to make a blacksmith next time.
Ah, got it.
It's weird to me that I have the highest subterfuge, but okay, whatever. We'll take it. Okay, that was a nice detour. I got some free stuff, can't complain. I guess there's only one way to Lethian's Crossing, and that would be right here. A bit unfortunate that we have to go all the way over there, but oh well. What, another one? Really? Quill in hand, you loom over a blank sheet of parchment. You have Binder Meothis's contact information in hand and contemplate your opening words. Okay, so dear Crenus, your summation is most fascinating. Thank you for sharing. You are certainly not the first to proclaim an edict. Many of us have been used to complete the casting of the Overlord's magic, and you aren't the first to break the edict, and you aren't first to break and edict. Though the name of though that name of list is a smaller, more exclusive list. What's curious, though, living and recorded memory make no mention of someone who has proclaimed and shattered the same edict. In that regard, you are an anomaly. Bad news is the Archons know this and will be suspicious of this distinction. Along with the parchment, I've included contact information of the Honorable Fate Binder Meothis, an old peer of mine, and perhaps the most knowledgeable in the court in matters not taught to us by Fate. And perhaps the most knowledgeable in the court on matters not taught to us by Tunod. Treat her with respect, and she will not betray your confidence. Best of luck, Ernest. And I think things are going to get even stranger, are about to get even stranger for you. Polite introduction. I'm not going to send payment. Forget that. Dear Fate Binder Meothis, I write to you at the urging of my peer and tutor, Fate Binder Regalis. He has found himself bereft of answers, a rare condition for him, and suggested that you be the only source of answers I seek. If you will pardon the imposition, it would mean a great deal to learn what you know of Kairos' edict and the magic of the spires. The mountain spire of the Tears is woken by presence, and an event occurred moments after I resolved an edict of Kairos. So it's critical that I learn just what has happened to me and what it all means. I thank you in advance for your consideration and wisdom. Fatebinder Crendus. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna bribe her, so she could take it or leave it. My party is gathered.
I got it.
Okay. Why would we turn show map names off? I don't get it. Immersion, maybe? That seems like a really minor issue, though. Okay, Iron Hearth it is. Maybe if I explored more of the houses in Lethian's Crossing, I would find something. No ambush, huh? I always think something's gonna happen when it's like a long travel like that. Wow, what is that? Is this the Edict of Storms? Oh, Meoth has already responded to me. Grendus, do you remember your training under Bleeding Mark? I remember mine. Funny to think that you and I are about a century apart, but to Bleeding Mark, we are all children. I'm now the oldest of the court's children, and I've seen much in my time. It's probably for the best that everyone assumes I'm old, harmless, and worth shuffling away to the archives. If I were scrutinized too closely, I'm sure Tunon would find that I've grown lax in my spoiled old age. Part of why I am where I am is that I've kept my head down. You appear to be doing the opposite. In some regards, this is beyond your control. You were chosen for the armor proclaiming Kyrus' edicts twice. To decline would have meant death, but to accept means but to accept means to be placed on the stage for all to see. Kyrus' most powerful weapon is not the edicts. It is her ability to hand us rope that we willingly use to hang ourselves. Never forget this. There are numerous questions nestled in your request. What is it you wish to know most? Focus your inquiry, and I will answer the best I can. I think the spires are probably related to the edicts. Let's ask about the spires. Dear Meothis, it would seem wise to know. It would seem wise to know one's own domain. Seeing I'm now the master of the mountain spire, I ought to learn. I ought to learn all I can. If you would share with me what you would know of the spires, I would be in your depth. Depth, rather. I'll start with what I know and have observed so far. The mountain spires seemed to awaken at the same time at the instant that Kyrus' edict of execution was put to rest. There was a burst of arcane energy that drowned out my senses, and I woke at the summit of the spire, what seemed to be just a few heartbeats of time. Atop the spire is an old sculpture of sorts, and it seems to be the core of the spire's mystic energy. I've been seeing visions and hearing sensations from the sculpture. It seems odd to describe it as talking to me, but that seems the closest analogy. Am I the first to report such things? There are other spires elsewhere in the world, correct? Send it, yes. These courier pigeons get a lot of work out. Hey, hail. He delights in interrogating the wicked, okay. Alright. Are we at the Blade Grave? Whoa, is that a chorusman? Fox, oh god. Fox Trick and Ovinus. Halfway's dead. Alfonso. Interesting. Yeah, these must be prisoners. Kinda you to stop and chat. I'm in a sticky situation and no one in my gang is alive or around to help me out. Stop wasting the Fate Binder's time. She has better things to do than listen to some criminal's mewling. Quite right, farewell. I'll be the judge of that. Tell me of your problem, soldier. Thanks for hearing me out. The disfavored aren't keen on conversation, otherwise I wouldn't be here. It's impossible to get a word in edgewise. She glares at her captor. Soldiers got me outside a breach in the old walls. That's it. I wasn't inside. I hadn't stuck my toe through the threshold, and I wasn't dancing with any bane. I have a healthy relationship with self-preservation. Then why were you arrested? You're only hearing one side of this sort of story, say Fatefinder. Our scouts observed this wretch readying to enter the old walls. Her account is flawed, her guilt witnessed by multiple trustworthy northerners. The soldier makes a point of standing extra straight when he addresses you. I'm sorry, is readying to enter the best you have? Because I could easily argue that you're readying to get knifed between your shoulder blades, but it doesn't count for shit until I see blood and bronze. I didn't go into the old walls. Case closed. Before I adjudicate on this matter, I need your mutual cooperation. If you ask me, this prisoner has already been tried and sentenced. But if this little game will silence her caterwauling, then be my guest. I'll stand by your decision. It couldn't land me anywhere worse than this. Did your gang cause the breach in the old walls? In the old walls, rather? What, are you kidding me? It would either take an incredible force or incredible magic to bash through that ancient barrier. We had neither at our disposal. Either one of Kyrus' edicts or some local mage caused the breach. Whatever ruling you make, don't pin that on me. I'm inclined to agree. Don't make the mistake of giving this one too much credit. Um... Hmm. What were you doing outside the old walls? My gang went inside. As I tried to tell this favorite Claude 100 times over, I shouted myself raw, trying to get them to back out, trying to get them back out, but my gang was having none of it. Our leader discovered the breach and got himself excited over the chance of finding treasure. Try as I might, I couldn't talk him out of it. Soldier, can you speak to this? Can you speak to this defense? I wasn't there, of course, but I'm familiar with the arrest record. There was no gang, just a lone opportunist out to make her fortune by breaking Kairos' laws. The scouts could tell just by looking at her that she was headed for the breach. She's a fiery one. Put up quite a fight when they took her in custody. I have no reason to doubt the charges. Any idea where your gang is now? Never seen them. I never saw them make it out of the old walls, so either they did or they didn't. My money's on the latter. If they made it out, they aren't wasting their breath trying to find me, so fuck them. So you had no interest in entering the old walls? Never. I grew up in the tiers. Even we knew better than to go inside the old walls, if not because of Kairos' law, because the things lurking inside were like to eat us. Whatever you can find in the shadow of those ruins, it's not worth the risk. What was your gang doing in the old walls? Causing trouble, looting? Nope. No more or less than what gangs do. Our boss was obsessed with holding his position, which is healthy when you're in the Scarlet Chorus. When he came to the conclusion that the old walls might have some powerful artifacts, he resolved himself to find one at all costs. Funny to see a guy so wrapped up in survival trying to get himself killed. Okay, I'm ready to make my judgment. Let's have it then. I hope you got everything you needed. Huh. If you weren't in the old walls, you weren't in the old walls. I rule in your favor. Finally, someone who listens to reason. I won't forget it, Fate Minder. You're an ally to falsely accused treasure hunters everywhere. Okay. This goes against my orders and my reason, but I cannot argue the ruling of Tunad's agent. I'll let you go. Try and stay out of trouble. I'll stay out of the old walls, but that's all I can promise. Okay. There she goes. Out of my life. Okay. Great.
Sorry, I can't.
Ooh, hidden stuff. Time to just take it right out of, you know... Oh my god, what is this? That's a, wow. This seems like a thing for him, Mr. Lantry. Because he does control life, right? Yes, wow, he has a really high skill in control life, actually. Which I would hope so, as the healer. Now it'll be even higher. Is this a DPS increase? I assume it is. Oh, 1 DPS, but still. Sweet. Congratulations, Lantry, on your new staff.
Sorry, I can't.
Time to loot everything. Elixir of Resolve. Okay. Oh, cool. We can sleep in the tent. I mean, not that camping supplies are short. Or hard to find, anyways. Alfonso, hello. The disfavored soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Chorus fighter. Consider it, not for a second. We pick our soldiers from the elite northern families. We don't recruit from flies buzzing over a mass grave. Are the disfavored some? Never minded. My gang of strength delivered us across half a dozen battles with a line of fallen enemies in our wake. Not many conscripts can say the same. The question is not a matter of your skill, but your breeding, your training, your pedigree, noticing you, the Iron Guard salutes. Hail, Graven Ash Fatebinder. What? Okay. Fatebinder, if I might take a moment of your time, what do you need? This person comes representing a Scarlet Chorus gang. What did you call yourselves again? The Gritting Bleeders. We have a long and storied reputation in the Scarlet Chorus ranks. Killers of the highest order, my gang. He puffs up his chest with pride. Before I was a boss here, I ran with the Scarlet, the Broken Shits, the Salty Nightmares, and the Trap Gang. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war. In any case, he's asking to join the disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained numerous times why we can't allow it, but the wretch won't listen. Do you want me to decide the matter? You must know Kyrus' laws back to front, and I trust you know our traditions well. If it peels this lamprey off my backside, I'll allow it. Speaking for my gang, we'll accept your judgment. We're eager to crack some Tearsman skulls with Kyrus' army again, no matter what color they wear. Alright. Let me take your testimony first. Of course, I have nothing to hide. Why can't recruits disjoin the disfavored? Where do I start? Not only does Graven Ash handpick his disfavored from decorated northern stock, he takes a personal interest in our training and education. We are his sons and daughters. To accept anything less than our ranks would hold the very process in contempt. The only capacity they could serve would be manual labor, hauling wagons or digging latrines, but that's the work of slaves, not what they've come requesting. Why this interest in the disfavored? Better training, better quarters, iron weapons. The disfavored have everything we wanted out of joining the military. We want to serve Kyrus to the best of our abilities. Is that asking too much? Old Ironclad here seems to think so. Their respect for command leaves something to be desired. Barrick always has something to say, it seems like. Why did you leave the Scarlet Chorus? Our old gang must felt the last battle of Vendrain's well. We saw how the disfavored operated and realized it was a chance for a better life, a longer one too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Chorus. I can tell you that we won't be missed. What is my... Nah, I'm ready to make my ruling. Good, whatever's fair, we're prepared to stand by it. You're no longer in the military. Go live civilian lives and keep Kyrus' peace as best you can. Mercy, compassion, more than they deserve, but I'm glad to see it all the same. We've seen too much in the Scarlet Chorus to return to a normal life, but I won't deny putting down roots is a tempting idea. He sighs. In time, the chorus may just conscript us all over again. As long as it gets them out of Ash's fort, it suffices for my needs. Thank you, Fatebinder. Well, I mean, having disfavored favor ability, favor of the Fatebinder. Okay, interesting. Well,
Right.
we can't really have them join the disfavored unless I, like, did that quest later on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's, like, an option to... I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have them join the disfavored. Because, I mean, they're patriotic, but, I mean, at the same time, disfavored are elitists, basically. Okay. Akalos, hello. Greetings, Fatebinder. Akalos, 32nd Legion. The soldier salutes. Glad to see Tunon's Agent Grace from Iron Hearth. Ash's troops have no... What? Oh, Ash's troops has no lack of order, but a servant of the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and the Scarlet Chorus, Lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I could spare a moment for conversation. You need something from me? Tell me about the Scarlet Chorus, Lieutenant. Seems our troop had this little maggot of a Scarlet Chorus Lieutenant cornered off at Cato Village. From what I've been hearing, it's the same guy who's been ransacking your caverns for the past few weeks. If I wasn't already handling something for Ash, I'd go skin this filth myself. You being here simplifies matters. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave this village. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. Okay. I will handle it. Good of you to pitch in. No more the loss of one more chorus rat. You marked the location on your map. I have questions before I go. No problem. What do you need? Where were you during the conquest? You could say I've seen the tears from top to bottom. I dug latrines at our encampment at the Gates of Judgment. Then my promotion sent me to Lethian's Crossing. Got into a few rows with the Bronze Brotherhood. Not a pretty sight. Then I had a brief deployment in Apex, but the fighting winding down when I arrived. After that, I did a tour of Stalwart, but got transferred out before the edict tore everything apart. Tell me about your home in the north. I hail from Blomywell, a small hamlet far west of Kyrus' capital. It's nothing glorious, but I can trace 6 generations back there, so it's home. I hope to return there someday with a heap of tales, rings, and renown. Rings and renown, rather. Once Graven Ash gave me his favor and recruited me to join the army. My family went from respectable farmers to elite folk, better regarded and respected than damn near anyone. They must be doing well for themselves. How'd you join? Ahead of the conquest, Graven Ash sent recruiters to all the outlying towns looking for worthy talent. The village held a tourney and melee to demonstrate our local muscle. Nothing fancy, mind you. It was mostly fighting on hay bales with wooden spears. I had the distinction of toppling even the biggest contender. A familiar tale, and one after my own heart. Varric nods with respect. It's a good thing I succeeded. I'm more useful to Kyrus on the field of battle than a field of wheat. Okay, well, see you later. This is a pretty large camp, I just realized. There's some iron walkers, tending to the fire. Is this actually the,
Do you have eyes on this?
Well, now I do, thanks. Chalcedony. Osmia. You must be the Fatebinder of Tunon. This favored Iron Walker bows. Welcome to Iron Hearth. I'm sure Graven Ash appreciates any help you can offer. Circumstances have a way of coming together so that this favor are always stretched thinner than we would like. What can I do for you? Where were you during the conquest? After the Edicts of Storms hit, I spent some time among the ruins of Stalwart, digging out survivors from the Legion. I'm afraid I didn't find much. She glanced up at Varric. You must have moved on by then, or else we would have and assembled a team to excavate you. My prison moved with me. There is no reason to tarry. He bows his head respectfully. I still think about the brothers and sisters we left behind. Sometimes I can imagine that I hear their voices carry on wind. Why are these favors so overworked? She rubs her palms together and frowns. We were trying to shoulder the brunt of the civil war without the strength of numbers. The Scarlet Chorus can throw 1,000 disposable bodies at an issue without a second thought, but we're forced to be a little more discriminating. We might be trained to deal with the stress of combat and all-night drills, but we're fatigued by even the highest standard we set for ourselves. She studies you in a cautious manner. Not that I needed, not that I need to burden an agent of the court with my misgivings. Once the war is over and the tears are properly subdued, my hope is that Kairos dispatches some relief troops to support the occupation. We all deserve a season of rest. The court is always receptive to the needs of its soldiers. Your point is noted. That is very generous of you to say, Fatebinder. I'm grateful to know that someone is listening. A nervous smile brightens your expression. I'll be on my way. Potions. We got a fish. Okay, great. Ooh, quartermaster, you must sell stuff. What limits are there, those? Nothing personal, I assure you. Graven Ash wants us to control our supplies without restricting access to his army supporters, like yourself. The finest arms and freshest provisions are reserved for the soldiers under his direct command. I'm sure you understand. The Archon takes our protection very seriously. Is an agent of the court not deserving enough? The soldier hesitates. As Tunon's vassal, I'm sure you're afforded certain luxuries that don't extend to us. The same goes for the disfavored. Archon Ash recruited us from the Northern Empire, so we're subject to his favor. Such is his right. The quartermaster scratches the back of his head. Okay, fine. I'll be back if I feel like I need to threaten this guy. Iron Guard armor, unsurprisingly, is made out of iron. Lightweight is what? 10%? Wow, negative 10% recovery time. That seems kind of cool. Sigil of Stone. We don't have this. Interesting. Time to buy healing potions as always. And I guess we'll just do nothing right now because we're kind of poor. Mainly thanks to me. Okay, I guess let's go into the main fortification here. Who knows what we're gonna find in here? Probably a lot of yelling. What? Okay, that was a bit weird. Oh, Graven Ash is right there. Wow. Wow. Stone shield. Whoa, damn. Imposing sight there. Very imposing sight. These reports list all known Scarlet Chorus outposts and strongholds, as well as troop compositions. It's safe to assume that Graven Ash has his eyes and ears within the his own eyes and ears within the ranks of his enemies. Okay, good to know. I'm sure he has one of those on the Fate Binders as well. So that's good to know, actually. So we could probably look for that at some point. Or it's a lead anyways. Fate Binder. No one in recent history has reached the pinnacle of Aspire, and yet you step to the top as if they were intended for your occupation. What do you have to say for yourself? I have to say, I don't know. I'm still figuring out what it could mean. Take care with your curiosity, then. If the Arcana... If the Arcana behind the spires has been lost, there is likely a good reason behind it. I would hate to lose a capable agent due to some calamity. What is it you require? Which is kind of funny because he asked me to come here. Uh, tell me more about yourself. I'm a family man. I always believed that culture is grown from a family legacy and respect for the past. I've sired 4 children in my life. Ashelrin, Priam, Amelia, and Brenix, rather. I'm a general to my soldiers, but a father as well. They have my confidence, my love, my trust. There's nothing more to give. My days on Terratus span more than any human lifetime. And on this journey, I have learned much. It must be said that I've also grown stubborn. I believe that matters must be handled a particular way, and see no reason to waver in those beliefs, as they are a product of my experience. Tell me about Ashelrin, my first and proudest accomplishment. What strength she had during the conquest of the Northern Empire. She was slain by Blood Echo, the madman who once laid claim to the title of Archon of War. I would later cut his head from his shoulders with Ashelrin's broken sword. He continued to scream for minutes after the deed was done. Okay. I miss her to this day. Would that she lived long enough to bring a family of her own to this world. Imagine me, a grandfather. Who is Priam? My son, born to the life I enjoyed before I was an Archon. He fell into a wasting illness caused by the pox, the Archon of Ruin. Well, the pox, the Archon of Ruin. Disease was but one of many weapons wielded during the conquest of the North. Were he still alive, he would have sat at my right hand, for he was wise in counsel and strategy beyond his years, perhaps even beyond mine. Tell me about Amelia. She has her father in stubborn persistence. She's an excellent fighter, though more brazen and eager to test herself in the field of battle. I have objected to this disposition in the past, but it seems as integral to her very being as the very breath she draws. Amelia. She has been missing from the Legion since the fighting escalated as stalwart. After her advanced detachment made her way into the depths of enemy territory, we lost contact. I fear for her fate. I fear for her, Fatebinder. I fear for her daily, and not knowing has turned this war into a nightmare. Brenix. My youngest and most beloved. He was my joyful and loving, a soldier just like his father, and fiercely devoted to his countrymen. He told the most horrid jokes. But he was taken captive at Vendrian's Well and later died. I could feel his life at the moment it was extinguished. The circumstances were unusual. None of the quick violence brought about by blade or hammer. You were there when I learned that the voice of Nerat had killed him, and absorbed my boy into the howling cavern of his madness. I would speak no more of this matter. The pain is still too close. Go on then. Speaking of family that missed the war can feel wrong. I wish we were back in the north together. I want to know more about this favor. We are more than a mere army. I ensured this favored legion represent everything we hold dear in the north. Rigid discipline, training to perfection, respect for the law, and the importance of family. As conquerors, it is our duty to teach the savage lands not just how to live up to the values of the empire, values the empire sets, but how to live for them. Tell me of the units. Most of the Legion is made up of the stone shields. They have the bricks in our shield wall. The Iron Walkers are trained and efficient killers who branch out from behind the phalanx to fight among enemy ranks. Okay. Crescent Runners are the fleet-footed light infantry who bait the enemy into a premature attack. The Oathbound are specialized scouts and advanced infantry. Alright. I still think the Oathbound are, like, mercenaries that were brought on to the disfavored, but okay. Then there are the Iron Guard, tempered in the forge of war, armored to survive any blow. The commanders of surpassing skill. The only other units are my Earthshakers, former mages of Karn, who command avalanches and harness nature's fury to our ends, rather. You regard the Southerners with great severity. Oh God. Oh, do tell. Eb's eyes alight with excitement. Do we smell bad? Is it the accent? The Legion takes hatred of the Tearsmen and elevates to an art form. Just what exactly did we do to offer such offense? The South has squatted in willful ignorance of Kyrus' superiority for so long that they don't deserve my respect. As the rest of the Empire coalesced into a united, shared culture, the Tearsmen prided themselves as distinct. We looked on them from afar with nothing but scorn. All I see in the Tears confirms my bias. There's lawlessness, neglect, corruption, infighting, everything the vaunted North has disposed of through superior breeding and culture. You don't see that as contradictory. You stood up against Kairos after all. That happened centuries ago during the earliest days of the Northern Conquest. If you think these periods of history can easily be compared, then you are more short-sighted than I could have imagined. Okay, well, he doesn't like us now. I stood against a presumptive overlord to defend a way of life that no longer exists. The South can afford no illusions. Kyrus has dominated every corner of the Territus, and claiming these lands by might is already accomplished in all but name. The realms of the South are willfully ignorant of their place in the world, and I will neither celebrate or flatter it with terms like independence or rebellion. With full knowledge of the consequences, the former lords of the South endangered the lives of their people. This cannot be tolerated. Of course, it's possible that these Tearsmen may come to enjoy all the best of Kyrus' offerings, but it will take generations of trial and long-term eradication of culture as they know it. A worthy pursuit by any standard. Nice to hear the General confirm it. The Tearsmen are a naturally defiant folk, and you'd have to silence our ways for generations to shake the courage and tenacity out of our blood. Keep talking, Tidecaster. You could join your friends in one of the many mass graves that litter the realm. Beric, that's inappropriate. I was just stating an opinion. Vendrian's well was proof that opinions are a poison. I will not have them in this company or in this fortress. A pity that we aren't of a similar mind. Okay. Did his favorite have their own laws? Laws, rather? I hold the Legion to a particular set of standards. We don't have any laws, and you would know them under Tunon's teaching, but every soldier in the Legion is aware of my expectations. The first, honor the Legion in thought and deed. I cannot allow atrocity or heinous crime to drag my respectable Northmen to shame. I expect my soldiers to follow Kyrus' mandates and conduct themselves respectably. The second, honor all oaths with your life. This respects the vow made to me as Archon and Kyrus' overlord. There can be no formal marriage for this favored ranks. This to prevent any obligation higher than the military. My soldiers can pair up and sire offspring as they wish. The North needs daughters and sons, and I would not force my countrymen to choose between family and loyalty. And last, honor your shield and your weapon. The maintenance of care and arms and armor are critical to the soldier's success on the field. Of course, there are the rare exceptions. How do you fare under that shell of iron, son of Barracunin? The Archon regards Beric with interest. Well enough, General. I know I'm not in top form, but I'm able to execute my duties with distinction. As you say. What is the Legion's history? As Kairos conquered the North under a single banner, there were those who resisted the call to unification. I was a young warlord at the time, petulant and inflated by pride. I rallied the sons and daughters of the North to stand against Kairos. Our offense was valiant. We planted our shield wall between the armies of Kairos and our homeland, declaring that no tyrants would dare cross us. Go on. We held our ground for a time, drawing the attention of soldiers who would add their strength to ours. Every victory was discussed and celebrated by other warring factions that refused to submit. As you have witnessed, none could stand against Kairos. Eventually, my legion shattered the relentless onslaught of Archons, slaughter of Archons and soldiers. They brought me in chains before Tunai. He told me the enemies of Kairos would be put to the sword unless I took one opportunity to surrender and join the fold. Go on. Out of loyalty and love for my countrymen, I swallowed my pride and bent the knee, offering my sword and my life to the Empire. My army was granted the rights of Kairos' peace, and we lived on as servants of the Overlord. Since we had transgressed and rebelled against the offering of Kairos' protection, my elite legion was stripped of their decorated name and dubbed Disfavored, a mocking reminder of our past crimes. Even as we stand above all others in the ways of war, we struggle to earn back Kairos' favor. Every soldier in my legion is descended from those who stood with me during the rebellion. I keep them close to me because they were the finest, northern stock, and their continued lineage is the reminder of Kairos' mercy. That goes for you as well. Oh, that goes for you as well, child of the North. By your unwavering loyalty and respect for our heritage, you are beloved in my eyes, he nods to Barrett. Tell me about your connections with your soldiers. Every member of this favored is precious to me as family. Their bloodlines are known and respected. Their performance in combat beyond every expectation, and I would go any length in their service. They call me General or Archon, yet I consider myself a servant and guardian of these excellent women and men. But I suspect that isn't what you intended to hear. There's a deeper connection still, but to appreciate it, you must understand our history, my rebellion, and my rise to power. All right. I've heard those tales already, but I'd like to hear more about the link itself. My relationship to the Legion goes deeper than anyone outside of it can fully comprehend, and it goes both ways. Our love and devotion protects and envelops us. We are a shield well onto each other. You mean to tell me you could protect your soldiers without lifting your shield? I am an Archon. Anything is possible. I could shield my devoted legion from harm and strengthen the fall of any hammer or sword. Those who followed me have shrugged off blows I would kill an average woman or men 10 times over. Are there any negative repercussions? Ash regards you in stoic silence, and for a time you can't decide if he's considering an answer or if you have offended him somehow. No. My soldiers are protected, strengthened, and emboldened. In turn, I am secure in their safety. That is the way of my power and my legion. Did the old man seem a little weak there for a second there? Too many blows to the head, maybe. I mean, raise your hand if you ever seen him wear a helmet. How is this connection possible? I could just as easily ask who built the old walls. In the end, it doesn't matter. I am protective of every soldier under my command, whether we share a tent or stand realms apart from each other. That doesn't change. Every member of my legion feels the influence I exert on them, and I'm aware of their condition down to the finest cut. Consequently, are you unwell inside there? Ash looks to Barrett with concern. No, Archon. I'm as fit and healthy as I ever was outside of this iron shell. In spite of Barrett's assurance, you could hear the lie in his voice. Very well then. I trust you'd visit me if you required my attention. Okay. Before we continue, I need to actually check volume settings really quickly because I don't know if it's actually messed up or not. In any case, I'll be right back.